Welcome everyone to another interview with one of our funded traders. Today we are hosting Julius. He is a trader who is also trading with his own capital, which I think is quite interesting after being in a prop world so long. So, hi Julius, I'm very happy to meet you. How are you
Hi,
today?
dear. I'm fantastic. And yourself?
I'm good, thank you very much. Before we started this interview, we had a small talk, and I'm really, really interested in your journey. So I want to hear more about it when
Sure,
we are on the record. So,
sure,
can you start by introducing yourself a little bit, and then explain
sure.
us like how you got into trading?
Oh, it's been a really long journey. Um, I think I started with crypto just like many other people.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I think I had about $600 in crypto. I just left it there because I'm also in other businesses as well. Many customers pay me using the crypto.
Yeah.
But eventually, what happened was I closed the account. I completely forgot about it. COVID happened, and then suddenly, my $600 inside turned out to be 60,000.
That's crazy. That is
Yes, I was shocked.
crazy.
I was shocked about it too. So when I had the 60,000, I'm like, hey, what the hell? What's going on? This can do something,
Yeah, it can
eve-
actually.
so eventually, I started getting into futures. I basically lost it all. I lost it all in 2 weeks. 60K.
That was quick. That was
Yeah,
quick. I've seen quicker, but that was quick. So
in fact, I was shocked. I mean, just like everybody, right? You just FOMO in, you see it go up and you just enter in without, I knew nothing about trading, nothing about trading. So then eventually I started getting serious. I put in 30,000 myself, USD, and then I lost it all again.
to lose again, yeah, that's perfect. That's
Again.
that's perfect. That seems about right about trading.
So on the third time, I really took it very seriously. I hate to lose. I'm somebody that whatever I do, I just have to, you know, be the best I can be in this skill set or whatever
Yeah,
it is, whether it's business, whether it's selling gold or whatever, maybe buying some property, whatever it is, right? So trading became like a personal thing that I really wanted to pass quick,
yeah.
and so I started studying everything. I took this like a challenge, and I one thing I like about trading, how when you trade to make money, it's fast. It's very fast. You don't have to provide a service. You don't have to, buy some inventory. I mean, yeah, maybe some capital, but
Yeah.
that it's not assuming that. You can make money really fast. So it's basically you against yourself, from what I saw. And I feel there was more mental approach, but of course you have to know the technicals. And
Yeah.
then eventually I started to become profitable, trading crypto, BTC especially. But I realized something about
Crazy.
BTC.
It's crazy.
Yes,
Like I wanna like stop here because
yeah,
it's not the pair that a lot of traders would actually prefer to trade daily or like I don't know, like as a swing trader, as intraday. You
yeah,
took a different course, I think there. What
I think
made
so.
you trade like BTS though? Was the price
B,
action
BT,
good or
B,
like
BTC, it's much more stable. It's just like
oh, you said BTC, Bitcoin. I
BTC,
thought
Bitcoin.
BTS. And I was
Oh
like,
no, no,
okay,
no,
that's
no,
very weird.
Bitcoin.
Now it's not weird anymore. I take that back.
I,
Sorry.
I, I started to become really profitable trading
Amazing.
BTC, but my win rate was 40 to 60%. Wasn't so
Not good.
fantastic. And
Your
then we had
win
a
rate
team.
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
It doesn't
as
mean
if you're
anything unless like your like risk to return ratio is like
yes,
that's the thing that
really
matters.
good. And
Definitely.
my risk to return ratio was always very high. It's talking about four to
That's
six
good.
R type of situation. So
That
in
is
fact, I
high.
think one of the accounts that I've passed, my first account in Funding Pips, I reached down to my last couple hundred left. I think it was the last 1%. And in my one trade, passed everything, all the way to pass the whole first phase from the last 1%. So I mean, my strategy is pretty high high R, but the win ratio is roughly about from 40 now to 40 to maybe about 80%. It really depends on the situation. So I'll head back a little bit on in terms of the trading. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we had a team in the Discord. We had a whole bunch of people, like 80 something people that we were all teaching each other.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
I was yeah. So basically, we're all sharing experiences, sharing strategies, sharing knowledge about trading, and then out of the 80 people, only 3 people actually became profitable. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so that really tells a lot. It's not always about oh, you don't have money to trade anymore. Maybe that could be the main reason, but I think it's also it's difficult. It is hard if you yeah, it is hard to trade, and it's difficult to take losses over and over again if you have too much emotional attachment to it. I know I always suggest to just take a break, but you can really see out of 80 something people, only 3 people actually managed to make it. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So I was one of the head coaches on that time, and I'm not even a professional, but I just happened to catch a lot of I can see a lot of patterns.
Yeah.
So the way I trade using yes, of course, technical indicators for direction, but always strategies and price. I must have some price action. Example: if I say I want to long, but we see a lower high, I'm not going to enter that no matter what, even if it's my strategy. No. Uh, and if example, if I'm going to enter a trade, I'm buying long, and then the 1 hour candle went up, didn't hit my TP, but it shot back down with a 70% wick. I'm getting
Yeah.
out. I'm closing. Regardless, win, lose, just take it. Or maximum, maybe stop loss entry. So I think these are some points that is so important, and I think it's good for this interview. I wanted to share some of my
That's
experiences as well.
amazing. That's nice
Yes.
to know. I actually enjoy hearing uh, traders talk about their rules in trading because
Mm-hmm.
without them, it's really hard to play some kind of game. Uh, but what I mean by game is not that I think of trading as a game, but that
Of course.
this is like a war, like a
Mhm.
chess, like any other game that we're playing, and it has some rules, and you have to make yourself some rules to
Of course.
actually like stop yourself at certain points or
Mhm.
just maximize profits or like minimize the losses, etc. It's really hard to understand and it's very easy to say. We always heard people say this, but
Mhm.
until we get into it, we don't realize how important that is. And it's
Yeah.
just going to sound like just another cliche to a lot of people listening to this.
Yeah.
But just let me tell you, it's not a cliche. It's the absolute truth about trading. You have to
Mhm.
like set yourself some rules,
You
and
have to. You see something, you have to react towards it. It's
yeah,
just like example. I mean, if something doesn't go your way, accept it. If you're already in profit, just take it. Just take the win. So don't be greedy. Like just accept facts. If it really goes the other way, but if you see based on price action, I'm pretty sure 50 to 70% of the time you're going to save yourself a lot of money if you actually just got out or keep your profits, right? Yeah, so yeah, of course, I also have multiple accounts. One thing I want to say about funding pips is
yeah,
I have multiple live accounts. 2 weeks ago I had 8. Now I'm back down to 6. So, but I mean we from it's you're gonna win, you're gonna lose some too, right? But
yeah,
one thing I like about funding pips, I don't see any other prop firm out there that is as the I would say the best condition to trade other than funding pips. Really, I have other
really nice
accounts.
to hear.
I stopped buying the other accounts already. I actually want to focus more on funding pips now.
That is really nice to hear. Actually, that's
It's
really
it's
nice
the
to hear.
truth. It's the truth. Where do you have another one, another account? I mean, there is some, but it's no. There is one that is trying to compete, but they really shut it off. They open it for 1 week, they shut it off the next week. So, but the terms of five, sorry, drawdown of 5%. It is so important. If you're
Yeah,
trying to pass the first phase 8%, and it's like for me, I enter. If I lose, my one order is 0.4% each trade.
yeah,
Um, I usually go in two orders, depending if the best strategies I go in two. So if I lose my best strategies twice in one day, I'm still alive,
yeah,
right? On other prop firms, due to slippage and the fees, no, you're gonna get kicked out because the stop loss
Dude.
maybe on average is 4%. That extra 1% is so important.
Yeah.
People don't get it. I mean, um, like there's some prop firms that say, "Oh, I'll help you do some protector or something." It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
It
I
all
lost.
co- yeah, it all comes to self-control and like adjusting your risk, but like
Exactly.
yourself, not by the
Exactly.
firm, but yourself. So I definitely
That's
agree on
right. So having the additional 1%, daily drawdown and the maximum drawdown has a really big difference based on the price that Funding Pips is offering. I'm not trying to sell, but it's really the fact, really the fact,
it.
right? So, and of course, I seen the first one to recover from the MT5 situation is Funding Pips. So that really shows something. Everyone was worried or something. I was just
Yeah,
watching. Okay. If lose is not my first time. I had a 250 after they increased my amount 310,000 account. I lost that one with the other prop firms. They completely shut down. So it's not my first time
that
losing
hurts a
accounts.
lot.
Uh, at the beginning, but now I'm okay about it already. I'm okay about it already. So it's not easy. It's not easy to run a business. I understand. I run multiple businesses too. I don't blame. I don't blame. If it happens, it happens. But
Yeah,
um, yeah, it happens. It happens. But Funding Pips came back first from the MT5 situation. So I think that was really impressive. I was really
it's like
shocked.
7 days, 7 to 8 days.
Yeah.
And to be completely honest with you, I think like MT5 shutdown happened on the 13th of February.
Mhm.
And I requested a payout on the same day. And I was
Mhm.
like, oh hell, like what's gonna happen now?
Me
Like
too.
what's
Me
gonna
too.
happen? You did. And
Me
then the
too.
next day I got a payout. And I was like, okay, they're coming back. They're
Yeah,
coming
coming
back.
back. Yeah, they're coming back. And then so I was really impressed about Funding Pips. So that's why I stuck to it. So I'm aiming for the hot seat now. So
I wish
this
you get it. It's
this
really beneficial. It is
yeah,
really beneficial.
I do have something similar with another platform, but I really want to focus on Funding Pips. I think Funding Pips is really one of the top platforms at the moment.
I'm
Yeah,
really
so
happy that you think so, really.
mm,
And for the hot seat, we also hosted Funding Pip's first hot seater a couple of
yeah,
weeks ago, I guess.
I saw that.
He's a very consistent trader, and he's very happy with the benefits that he got with the
Mhm.
hot seat. And I have to tell you, like I'm a trader myself, and like I'm a little jealous. Oh, that's good. Like increased daily drawdown, increased maximum drawdown, increased profit split, or like payout on
I,
demand. That's like
I
really
I
good.
don't think people understand how difficult is it to get that type of hot seat. I
Exactly.
think there is two ways. One, you're extremely disciplined.
Yeah.
Number two, you don't aim very big wins.
Yeah.
So if you say you make a 1R, 1.5R, 2R, multiple trades like this, and you hold it and you pull it along the way, you stretch it long, I think that's possible.
Yeah.
But honestly, once you have live account, I honestly believe it's best. I mean, I hold at the top. I had 8 prop firm live accounts. I really think you have to reduce your size. So,
Yeah.
example, if you're trading, 1R is 1%. Example, you got to cut it down by half.
Yeah.
You need
Exactly.
that space. Yeah, you need that space to hope to try to get some nice winners. And believe it or not, I think it's best not even to cash out all your accounts. I really believe so. Yeah, every time you cash out, I think
That's
you should
very
leave it
interesting, but okay. Okay.
at least try to leave 1 hour or something. I think is okay. You want the extra buffer.
Do you mean psychologically?
Yes,
Yeah.
psychologically.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I think so too.
Yeah.
Because starting an account, you can start with a loser. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's,
Your data might
exactly.
suggest you that you might lose because you just won and got a payout. So
Hmm.
apparently, you're going to have some losers.
Yes.
So that's sometimes, but not all the time. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Sometimes what I do with smaller accounts, so that if I start with a loser, I don't have to deal with all the emotions and etc. And it's definitely easier. That is a very beautiful suggestion. I've never said that out loud before. Just to be like, I'm afraid of being judged. Like, I'm a
No.
person. That is a beautiful suggestion, and I can confirm that it works. But I do it on smaller accounts. But because the big ones, like, I want to get that payout. So, but with the small ones, it's
That's
like
true.
tolerable, a little more tolerable for me. So
I do
that
that all the time with
perfect,
my
perfect.
cash accounts. My cash accounts, I always leave 2R there just in case, and then
That's amazing.
I at least I have two shots, and I want to enter the best strategies and get ahead of this 2R, and then I will say, okay, maybe I can trade a bit bigger. But at the beginning, the first 2R, I try to be a bit more careful. Oh,
That's amazing. That's
yes.
amazing. So, I think like profitability is defined by so many factors. I like no one can actually say I'm profitable or I'm not profitable, just based on one observation or one qualification. But when do you think, around what time into trading, like how long? You called yourself, okay, I think I'm profitable enough to make a living with this.
For me, was I think it was a year and 6 months. A year and 6 months when I started to really say, okay, I can be profitable. And then
Yeah.
I back tested from that day. From that day onwards, I still remember. And then the whole next 2 years, I was overall profitable. Last year, I only had one losing month. But
That's
of course,
amazing.
yeah, I only had one losing month last year. So I was pretty happy about that. Pretty, that at least I can say I'm profitable, right? So to myself, I don't have to tell the world. I mean, you can
Exactly.
tell something today on social media, many people don't believe, right? But I mean, it's the people that are close to you, then they see it, they see the consistency, they see that, hey man, what I'm saying is really the truth. And they
They see
follow
the
and
nice clothes or
yes, they make money together, right? Then if they make money together, then they start to say, hey, this thing can be profitable. Then they start to
yeah,
get interest. They have some
yeah.
interest to come in. That's people ask me, what are you doing? You know how you make your money? Then, of course, I'm telling my business, but I say, hey, there's another way too. I said, just buy this. Example like Bitcoin, the time it shot down to 16K.
Yeah.
I told one of my friends to buy now. Buy now. If you want to go aggressive, go leverage, go 7x, all in or nothing. And he put in about 50,000 Hong Kong dollars. So it's roughly about 8,000 US dollars.
Yeah.
He made over 1,000% on
That
that.
is crazy. That's
Yes, I
perfect.
mean,
Good
it,
advice.
people
But
say
you have been
trading is
trading crypto though. Also,
yeah,
you
crypto.
have experience in crypto. So if anyone's gonna like listen to this part of the YouTube video, like is gonna think like, "Well, all in crypto. No, this guy doesn't know anything."
No,
No, but this guy speaks from experience. So that's why
yes,
he said what he said. So definitely
exactly.
understand that part. Yeah.
I mean, like some people say, oh, trading. Why you love to trade so much? I mean, I love it. It's a hobby. It's fast. It's really fast. You can make money real quick. But and they say it's gambling. I say no, it's
Yeah,
not gambling.
it is. Yeah.
Gambling is when you cannot control the odds. You don't have things with you, right? But if let's just say, the big banks or some big companies who decide to buy crypto at 30,000, they are going to protect the investment. Example, if they buy BTC at 30,000 and it goes above and it tries to go under 30,000, they are going to protect the 30,000,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So how is that gambling? You're going with the flow. You see who is bigger, right? And then you just go with the flow. So if you have another chance to see Bitcoin going to 36,000, and it's okay, you can calculate the cost. What is the real cost of crypto? That time was 16,000.
Yeah.
At the time was 13,000. Right after the halving, we can say roughly about 34,000 ish. So if price ever goes there, whoever owns big amount of crypto is going to buy back and protect their investment. Right? So that is
I
not
would do
gambling.
the same. I think that is all about the mass psychology. So if you think of doing something that like trading or like whatever the heck it is, doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Think of others like you are going to be likely to do the exact same thing. So what you said, like if it goes down to 30K, like the chances are really high that it's going to go up again because a lot of people will want to protect their investments and
Of
etc.
course.
Like as a former crypto trader, I don't even know like the price of Bitcoin right now. Like I can check on TradingView, but I don't know. But no one can deny that it presented us a lot of opportunity at the time. Actually, I made my first big money with that. So it's always going to have some other place in my heart. But to be honest, I think for me, at least, crypto time, my trading times have passed a long time ago. But
Yeah.
when I look at your account, I see you trade JPY pairs a lot. And
Yes.
I want to ask you, like, why? Why do you choose JPY pairs
The
over?
volatility. One, the volatility, and number
Yeah,
two, my strategies is based on Japan, the
perfect.
Japan system. So they use like America uses Anchor VWAP, maybe some EMAs. Japan uses Ichimoku Cloud.
Yeah,
So for me, and it's the time zone. The time zone fits perfectly. I do like to trade the in between Japan and the UK. That's
yep,
the time that I feel is the best. So my time three opening of pre-market and opening of UK, and my time 8 p.m. is usually the big movements. I mean, you can
yeah.
see it based on the charts. So you just basically, as long as I just follow the flow, and if I'm buying the right direction, and then I see the timing, I'm expecting that move. If that move doesn't happen or it gets rejected, I exit.
Yeah.
I save whether loss or win a little bit, just get out. That's what I usually do.
That's
Mm.
amazing, actually. And I think a lot of people will find it really interesting if you show us on the
Sure,
chart
sure.
what you mean by, okay, Japan uses Ichimoku clouds. But before that,
Yes.
I want to show
Mm.
your payout certificates to
Yeah.
the audience. You first got a $500 and then 700, and then it went up like
Mm.
twice
Yes.
more, right? So I think these are nice payouts. And sorry, everyone, like we hid Julius's last name upon his wishes, and I think that's really important, like respecting the privacy. So I want to ask you, like, this is good, and you said that you are trading for a hobby before the
Yes.
interview, right? So we talked about that, and I told you this is really interesting because people actually spend money on their hobbies, but you're making money off of your hobby. So
Yes.
can you share your trading view screen with us and
Sure, sure,
explain to
sure.
us how you actually make money off of this hobby?
Sure, 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 sure. Uh, how do you turn it on? Oh, okay. Hold up. Stand. Um,
All
oh,
right, I see your screen.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if you take a look on the last, maybe the last trade that I've actually put in, it was quite simple. As long as I see, I already predict beforehand where the support is.
Yeah,
I'm looking at a 1 hour. So why 1 hour is because majority of the big buyers and sellers, they all follow the 1 hour. I mean, the big buyers and sellers, they don't have time to follow on 5 minutes of scalping, right? So they only look at the 1 hour on the main moves. So example, if I see that support, I'm looking at that support. Okay, I want to enter somewhere in between this wick if I believe it's going to go long. So I don't aim. Yeah, people say, "Oh, I have 4R, 5R most of the time." Well, how do I do it? My stop loss is closer. So
yeah,
this one is 3R, right? But this is just an example. This is my latest trade. So I'm entering on that candle wick. So usually there's always a second chance. If I see that wick, uh, my entry would be there, right?
yeah.
And then if let's just say my stop loss, I even put my stop loss nearer. Usually, that's how I get my R. And I'm using an EA. I'm using the this EAs.
Oh
I'm
yeah, yeah,
using
magic keys.
yes, I'm using the EAs. And then I mean we can take a look at this trade. What happens? I mean it's quite clear what happened here. So so my
Looks
entry was
nice.
there was multiple entries,
Yeah.
to enter in. We know that's a support, and I'm not being too greedy. Uh, yes, occasionally I don't have any TP. I don't even set a TP.
No.
Um,
Okay.
yes, sometimes I don't even set because some of my strategies is I let it swing. That's why sometimes my win rate is even like 34%, 35%, but I'm still profitable,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm getting this
Because
really
of
big
your
R.
risk reward. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So, and I sometimes I enter two orders instead of one. So, example, if I'm going, 0.4 in one order, I'm entering 0.8 instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to be too greedy. I mean, the TP, I even set it below. You got to watch out for the wicks. You don't want to set your TP on top of the wick because due to the spread, sometimes it just miss. A lot of the times it just miss. You got to remember the wick is the sellers. The wick
Yeah.
is the sellers. So you want to enter before that wick as your TP. And then, of course, due to spreads, you want to be a bit even more less than that. Right. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, for this trade, it was an easy winner for me. There was, I saw the supports and the back. Oh, sorry, you can't see over here. Basically, I only want a long in this area. In this area, as long anything under this, I want a long. I saw there was a previous support. That's what I'm aiming for, and then I saw that this wick, and then it was good to go in. Right, so that's just one of my main strategies, and I also saw that the anchored VWAP was over here, was a bit above there. So
Yeah.
anything if I see support, I'm going in, and that's my entry. So yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't think it's that difficult. Yes, there is math to it, but as long as you enter at the best price, uh, and it's supposed and your strategy is a nice winning strategy. That means more wins than losses, above 70%. If you backtest for the past 3 years,
Yeah.
I would say you can already be profitable. It's not that difficult, but the only thing is patience. I think this is the part that most traders have. The issues that they have is patience. They can't wait for it. They really can't wait for it. Yeah. So okay. So
Exactly.
going. Yeah. So you mentioned GJ
Yeah.
is because this is the Ichimoku cloud, right? It looks
Yeah.
very like a lot of indicators, anything, but actually, if you take it out, it's basically quite straightforward. These are the EMAs. The lines are all the support resistances that I drew out. This is the Lux Algo, the support resistance trend lines,
Yeah.
right? So that's all I have. I mean, you can see the trend lines are pretty accurate too, yeah, right? So uh, Ichimoku clouds, GJ is the bottom of the cloud is the anchored VWAP.
Yeah.
Uh, and then the top of the cloud is, of course, where if buyers want to push, it has to go higher than that, right? So let me just put it back on.
While you're putting that on, I also want to like draw attention to the fact that we have hosted a few traders who like specifically trade JPY pairs,
Yep.
and I think they also had that thing where they don't always set a TP.
Yeah.
Because like JPY pairs are like this. Like if you can catch a trend, chances are the trend continues a lot.
For a
Like as
very
a
long time.
for me, yeah, as a like for me, I don't trade JPY pairs because I can never catch that trend. Like I like to trade reversals, etc. But for people who can actually catch that trend, I think JPY pairs allow them to actually get more profits in their accounts.
Yes.
This is what I noticed. They
Mhm.
get like bigger payouts actually,
Yeah.
but it's very important to like realize that they also manage the risk, because the ones they don't like, yeah, if you don't manage your risk, you're gonna blow the account. But
Of course.
if you manage your risk and if you can catch the trend on a JPY pair, that's a perfect combination. Because and if you don't have a TP, that's perfect. That's perfect. You're going to like scale up the profits.
Yeah. There's just so many chances for every move, every pump, every time it breaks a resistance, catch the retracement. Just catch it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Japan usually, you got to remember GJ, right? Japan is also buying pounds. Japan usually is very one direction. It's actually really smooth. Compared to US and UK, nah, they love to retest. They love to just
Consolidate
consolidate.
a
Yeah, in
lot.
one area. Exactly, right? So the Japan, if you understand the different markets, what they like to do is once it breaks a resistance zone, just look for that support. You very high chance that it's going to continue. Uh, but of course, don't
Exactly.
enter blindly. You want to look for some 1 hour supports, right? Like example, here we go. Like let me take a look at the
Yeah,
previous
I
one.
was going to ask you that, but you mentioned a little.
Mhm.
Do you okay? You can analyze the price action on like 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, or even daily.
Yeah.
whatever it is. But
Mhm.
do you also execute based on 1 hour, or like do you go lower time frames too?
Okay, so when I start the day, I always look at the daily, right?
Yep.
So to kind of judge, okay, today is it going to be a green candle? Is it going to be a red candle?
Yep.
Watch out for the zones, where the zones I got to be careful of. My TP should not exceed, example, this long wick. I don't want to be higher than this, right? So I
Okay.
like to be safe, but my entries need to be sniper. It really has to be on that time, and that's the same reason why I like pre-market UK and 8 o'clock, my 8 p.m., which is probably about noon UK time zone. So in these two time frames is if my strat happens, then that's my entry, right? So uh, the second part, I'll go down to the 4 hours to kind of judge what is a good entry. Then I'll go for my strategies. My strategies is based on the 1 hour. And then I look at 15 minutes just for confirmation on even better entries.
That's
So
perfect. That's
there's a
perfect.
lot of things that you can miss out on the one. Just example. Example, you want to catch this long, right? I mean, I don't recommend catching daggers, right? Or buying. But
That is what
as a
that is, though. It's a dagger.
yeah, but example, if you really wanted to catch this dagger, right? It's very difficult on 1 hour because every close takes so long, right? For me, if I want to buy long, I see the support wick. I want to enter because it's so heavy from the previous candle. I don't want to enter on this candle. I want
Yeah.
to enter somewhere below, right? But let's just say you missed out. 15 minutes gives you a second entry. It's cleaner. You can see this. I would enter
Yeah.
somewhere in the middle. My stop loss will be below this, below the previous low. So if you think it's going to go up, right, you really have the good price to enter. If you
Exactly.
really lose, then okay, so be it. You saw the market wrong. Your bias is wrong. But if you're accurate 50% of the time, 2R, 3R each time, you're profitable. It doesn't really matter, right? So, but for me, I would have closed. As mentioned, I do not want to see any 1 hour rejection candles or anything like that if I was going to long. So I
Okay.
think it's not only about rules that you set, but you gotta watch the price action. You see what's happening and just sometimes take it. Or if you see one rule that I have, example, in 15 minutes, example now, if it doesn't break this previous high, in 15 minutes, if it goes up and it fails again, I'm gonna sell it if I was on a long over here,
Yeah.
right? If I was, yeah, for sure, 3 times maximum. If I'm aiming my TP to be like all the way back up, somewhere here or here.
That's
Uh,
amazing. That's amazing.
yes,
I
yeah, you
really like
gotta.
how you think in terms of analyzing and multi-time frames. And although I have some
Mm,
contradictory opinions on
sure.
some of the things that you mentioned, like
Mhm.
you love sniper entries, like you said,
Yeah, yeah.
for a long time. Like I try to perfect my entries, and let me just say, like, this is obviously my opinion. Since you
Mm,
can
mm,
snipe, like you can catch the sniper entry, that's perfect for
mhm,
you. But for those who can't, I also want to mention it doesn't happen in just one day. It takes time to master that kind of thing. And if you
mhm,
can't just catch the price on some certain level, and then the price moves exactly the opposite direction, like, or like your trade's direction, it's not something that we need to actually be sad about, I think, because
of course
sometimes
not.
it's better
Yeah.
to catch the trend on the second wave, maybe, if we can't
Mm.
catch the first one. So for you, yeah, you have experience, but
What you
for
just
those,
mentioned is yeah, it's two
yeah,
separate things put in together. What you
yeah,
mentioned is the first break of a resistance is the first line of buyers that want to buy.
yeah,
But of course, it will retrace, and if it gets near to that area where it broke, that is second chance. If there is bias, everyone saw that movement.
yeah,
Example, the expansion, right?
yeah,
If you have that expansion, everyone is watching that move to continue that trend again. So when it goes back to where it broke out, there's a very high chance it's going to continue again, the second wave of buyers.
yeah,
So as traders, I always suggest to enter when we're playing futures, enter the second entry. Yes, I agree.
perfect,
Uh,
perfect.
yes, but
Perfect.
sniper entry is because I don't hold trades more than 6 hours. Most
Okay, that's a good
most of my
point. See, that's a good
yeah.
point.
So my trades is like even sometimes like 45 minutes I already hit my TP, based on the 1 hour, right? So um it's just like example if we have this new resistance, right? This
Yep.
support, right? We enter, we can see this wick. So we know this support. Okay, then let's say I entered along right here. So I'm entering in the middle of the wick, somewhere, anywhere in the middle of the wick.
Yep.
So my stop loss will be here. I'll be very close to stop loss. But once I see the green candle, I'm stop lossing entry already. And then my TP, maybe around here. So it would have
Perfect.
took, yeah, it would have took from how to say, maybe a couple hours to hit
Yeah.
TP.
Looks like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, that's this is what I aim for. I look for what the my strategies plus I watch for price action. If I
Perfect.
see this price is reacting, this support is reacting, okay, I'm entering in. In that short term, is usually quite safe.
Perfect.
Uh, yes.
Perfect perspective. Perfect
Mm.
perspective. So, it's safe to say that I really enjoyed your type of trading. It looks very colorful on the chart. It looks like there's a lot of things that can help you, and that you're not just using the indicators to actually determine what areas to get into the trade. You're actually using price action to analyze, and then
Oh
these
yes,
indicators support you. And I think that's an
of course.
important distinction. And we all have to just learn about that, because I
Mm,
know, as when I was
mhm.
a beginner trader, I used to find a strategy totally depending on some indicators and the given my entry, given my exit. But maybe sometimes it doesn't work like that. Maybe sometimes we do need to learn how to read price action, how to interpret that, and then
Of
maybe
course.
we can use the indicators to support our decisions, support
Yes, of
our
course, of
way of
course,
thinking. And I think that's an
of course,
important perspective to know, like pay attention to. My
of course.
last question to you is that
Mm.
you've been trading for a long time. You started with crypto and you switched to FX. You learned the dynamics of some specific pair, and then you're trading that. So, what would you advise to other traders? But in two ways, okay? First, a group of people, imagine them, they're just starting to trade, they're just learning. And what should they do? What do you think? And the other group is they have been trading for a long time, but they still are not profitable. They're working, they're backtesting, but still
Yeah.
can't find profitability. What would you suggest to them?
Okay, so for the first one, straight away, demo.
Sorry, with
I demo. You're gonna lose. I would say 99% of the time, right? There's some handful of people that really just watch it and they just have, or maybe their parents are traders, so they got some idea growing up watching the charts or something. But
yeah,
aside that, 99% of the majority of the crowd is going to lose.
yeah,
Um, Demo is one thing. Watch a lot of videos. Watch a lot of YouTube videos. Don't watch the strategy videos.
yeah,
It's a point. Watch like Steve Weinstein or watch some videos on mindset. Understand support and resistance. Understand candlesticks. Um, and then I think you watch this and then try to create a strategy.
yeah,
So what is a strategy? Strategy is something that you see something happens over and over again,
yeah.
and then you want to back test that strategy for at least 1, 2, maybe even 3 years. Um,
Perfect.
Once you see that strategy works, okay, go on to it, and then just try it out. After 1 year, you're profitable. That means you have at least 7, 8 months that is profitable over your losing months in 1 year. Okay, then try go live, test it out. Okay, then for number two, watch out for your entries, your exits. First thing, very important for me when how I became much more profitable, enter on fresh trends. Fresh
Perfect.
trends is so important. Don't just wait. If you missed out that trend, okay, try go for second entry. Once it becomes on third entry, nah, stop that trend already. Don't trade. It starts to fluctuate.
Yeah.
If the price is too high already, don't enter. Okay, second advice I would say is the sorry I mean, there's so many things going on in my mind. Okay,
I can only
watch
imagine. Yeah, definitely. Don't worry. Don't
watch
worry.
watch price action. If you're buying long, you want to see the previous high was a higher high than the previous one,
Yeah.
right? If let's just say you have a high and then a lower high, and then it shoots down real low and it broke the previous support, or the candle hasn't closed on a nice support,
Yeah.
then don't enter. Don't try that trade no more. Um, Fresh trend, price action, and then try to avoid news. Avoid
Perfect.
news. Avoid news is quite important. I do trade news, but you have to change your mentality of entering news. Like when I trade news, I go half my orders, and then when I enter, um, I try to have a quick win following that news. If
Yeah.
it cannot break resistance support, I will actually switch the other way.
Perfect.
Oh,
Perfect.
yeah.
You're
So
not
I will
afraid
switch
of
the other way.
changing directions.
No, no, I change directions a lot. So, example, I have a strategy and it's not going my way. So I lost so many times to learn this. So, uh, example, there's supposed to be the support here.
Yeah.
I buy long. It goes up and it shoots back down 1 hour close with a 70, 80% wick.
Yeah.
I still hold. I
Yeah.
still hold on to that. But now I switch directions. I take the win and I
Yeah.
switch directions. And then that wick, the top part is my stop loss because it's not supposed to do this.
Yeah.
From based on my back testing, it's not supposed to do this. That means if I'm buying long, except watch when I so still number two, watch the price action. If it's just the sellers are so heavy, right? And especially fresh market, get out of it.
Yeah.
So yes, and then when I switch the other way, I don't like to go against the candle that actually pumped it. So example, it goes up, right? When it goes back down and I'm shorting it, I don't want to go more than that candle that pumped it because very
Yeah.
high chance the moment once it touches, it flies back up. So it's you have to be able to watch the very small details when you're trading.
Exactly.
It's some people say, "Oh no, I look 4 hours, I can be profitable." Yeah, but okay, 2 months and then you make what 5R? Come on, I make that in 1 hour. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, that's one thing. The second thing is the end of the year they're still losing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, everyone has their own style of trading. There's no best perfect way, but my advice for the up the group B is just be very precise. Watch for every movement, understand the movement, and then take these things, remember it, and then have a rule to go according to that. And then don't risk too much of your account. You need buffer. You're going to lose. We're not God, right? We don't
Yeah.
control the markets, right? So and then you have to remember that the market doesn't care about you. You are yourself. You have your mentality, right? If you don't follow the trend, you're gonna get slapped. It's very humbling. Trading is very
Exactly.
humbling.
Exactly.
Yes. I think this will be for the two options.
Yeah, I think these are very, very good suggestions because um, it shows a lot of experience.
Mm.
For example, yeah, we can all take a book and read it,
Yeah.
learn the candlestick formations, candlestick patterns,
Yeah.
and some specific, I don't know, like images about candles, right? But
Yeah.
the experience is the one to tell us that okay, if you see a candle that pumped up, the chances
Mhm.
are is that like if it goes down, just hold it until the
Did
beginning
it
of that candle
did
and
it close
pump, right?
above a
Exactly,
above a
exactly.
resistance? How
And that
how
is
much did it pump?
experience.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and that is it. That is absolutely experience. So that's
Yes.
what I like about like traders giving advices because it's not just cliche words. Even though
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah, it may sound cliche. That's true,
Mhm.
but it's all about the experience. And if
Yes.
someone's giving that advice like over and over again, it tells me that I should be more careful about that topic.
Mhm.
Apparently that person knows something, that person has learned something from that mistake and experienced it. So
Or some people just lost enough to learn, and they don't
exactly,
want to they don't want to keep losing.
exactly, because you know what, some experiences are not so cheap. You lost a
Yes.
lot of money in the beginning of
Yeah.
your trading journey, so did I, and so did a lot of people. And
Mm.
hearing these suggestions, advices for free online, just everywhere, on Twitter, like on other social media. I think it's very important, and I think it's something that we don't appreciate a lot. But it's better than paying a lot of money to an
Yeah,
advice,
and
than to, like, it's better to
many
hear it
many
freely.
people can't afford to lose so much, you know.
Exactly.
So yeah, if
Exactly.
you can't afford to lose, then really just go demo. You know, make sure that you
Exactly.
have your ace first before you start. Um,
Definitely, definitely agree with
yes.
that. Thank you, Julius, for joining this interview and
Thank
accepting
you, Lee.
our invitation. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm sure the viewers has enjoyed it a lot too. I learned a few things from you today. I'll definitely check them out. I'll definitely check JPY pairs. You got me interested in them. Thank you. Hope to see you again when or once you get a hot seat in Funding Pips.
Thank you. Pleasure was mine, dear. Pleasure was mine.
Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Okay, thank you.